When it comes to acids, you've probably seen a few acronyms popping up all over the place. AHAs, BHAs, PHAs. Today, we're jumping in to take a look at the 3 most common type of acids and how to use them in your routine. Welcome to the Korean Beauty Show, where we're talking all things Korean skincare, makeup, and more. If you want to learn about the hottest trending products and ingredients straight from South Korea, then this is the podcast for you. Each week, we'll be diving in to take a look at the latest trends, as well as all the tips and tricks you need to perfect your K-beauty routine. I'm your host, Lauren Lee, professional K-beauty expert and founder of Korean beauty platform Style Story. Hello and welcome back to another week of the Korean Beauty Show. So if you're anything like me, it is probably safe to say that the role of exfoliants in your skincare routine has come a long way since your first apricot scrub. Exfoliating, it has always been a big part of skincare routines, but these days, it's chemical exfoliants that are taking the spotlight. AHAs, BHAs, and PHAs are the most common types of acids that are being used in skincare today. And if you are using acids in your routine, then chances are that it's one of these 3. So before I jump into today's topic, just a quick reminder that today is the last day to join the review giveaway. So the giveaway is for a $100 AUD Style Story gift voucher, and that is open to anyone who leaves a review for the Korean Beauty Show podcast by today, which is the 15th of September. So I'm going to quickly read out one of the reviews that was left for the podcast, and this review will be going into the draw to win the $100 gift voucher. It is from Jody Goldie, who says, "Very informative, great for all skincare enthusiasts. I love the podcast. I discovered it after doing research on the 10-step Korean skincare. I've used this information and created my own regime for my aging skin. Keep up the great work, Lauren." So I absolutely love hearing your thoughts and feedback, and I especially like to know how you guys are putting together your skincare routines, and if you have picked up any useful tips and tricks while you've been listening to the podcast. So I would love if you would leave a review for the podcast as well, and of course the winning review will be winning. And what we're going to do is we're just going to put them all into a hat and draw it out. So it'll be drawn out at random, and the winner will win a $100 AUD Style Story gift voucher. And Style Story are, of course, the sponsors for today's podcast. If you are looking to shop the hottest K-beauty products online, then go and check out stylestory.com.au. So to dive into today's topic, which is all about acids, and these are literally all anybody seems to be talking about at the moment on socials, in all of the skincare groups and everything like that. People are wanting to hit their skin with as many acids as possible to try and get their glow on. So if you're still a little bit confused, wading around in this pool of different acids, which ones should you be using on your face? Do you need to use all of them, and how often? Then I'm going to answer some of those questions today, starting with the first one in the alphabet, which is AHAs. So AHAs stands for alpha hydroxy acids, and these are the original gangsters of the skincare acids. So they're naturally found in fruits, and water-soluble AHAs like lactic or glycolic acids are great because they gently melt away dead skin cells from the skin. So when we're talking about acids, just to sort of backtrack a little bit, if you're not quite sure what exactly they are or why we're using them, they are just another way of exfoliating your skin. And by exfoliation, obviously we're talking about getting rid of the dead skin cells that are on all of our skin. And what happens is when we accumulate dead skin cells and they don't sort of shed away by themselves, our skin can become clogged, the pores can become clogged, which can lead to breakouts, and it can also just give our skin a duller appearance. So if you're aiming for brighter skin, for a brighter skin tone, and you're also looking to clear out your pores, get rid of blackheads and things like that, then exfoliation is a really great way way to do that. Now, back when I was a young warthog, back in the day, scrubs used to be all the rage. So I'm pretty sure a lot of you will be familiar with a certain apricot scrub, and that is certainly was my introduction to exfoliation. And the thinking back then was, like, the harder and the more frequently you scrubbed, the better your skin would look. And I can tell you from brutal, harsh experience that did not work out too well for me. I don't know whether you guys had better luck, but for me personally, it was just way too sensitizing for my skin. And to this day, I have trouble really using those manual types of scrubs and exfoliants just because I find them too harsh for my skin. The best that I can sort of get is a dissolving scrub foam that has like sugar crystals or something like that in it, that when you apply it to your skin, the crystals start melting, so it's not as abrasive. And I think in general, those kind of products have just kind of fallen out of favor lately in Korean beauty and Western beauty in favor of these chemical types of exfoliants. And what they do is they are trying to do the exact same thing, which is exfoliate, get rid of your dead skin cells, but they're working on a chemical level. So what this means is that firstly, there's no sort of manual abrasive action required to scrub anything off your face. And the second thing is that unlike some of the older school scrubs where you can kind of see straight away whether they've been working or not, you know, your face might even be a little bit red after you use them, these chemical ones usually do take a little bit longer to work, and that's because they are working on a chemical level a bit deeper down. Sometimes you might have flushing or redness after you have applied them, but oftentimes you won't necessarily notice or feel anything on the skin straight after applying it. So I think that will lead into a couple of cautions that I will run through later for obvious reasons, that if you can't tell if it's working or not, then, you know, it's sometimes hard to know whether you've overdone it or you need to pull back with your acid use. But before I get into all of that, so AHAs, they've been around for a long time and definitely not unique to Korean beauty. They're perfect for drier skin types. And the thinking behind AHAs is that they are great for anti-aging benefits because they can stimulate, obviously, this cell regeneration process. There are so many products on the market that contain AHAs. A couple that I can highly recommend if you are looking to dip your little pinky toe into the world of Korean beauty acids. COSRX, their AHA Whitehead Power Liquid, is not a new product. It's been around for ages, but it is a very beloved product because it is great for clearing out the skin and pores, particularly for people that are prone to things like whiteheads, which are those pimples that basically have, you know, a white pussy looking part that sort of protrudes from the skin. That's what a whitehead is. So that's one great product. Another product that has really incredible results is Commleaf's AHA Green Tea Peeling Liquid. And this I actually think is a great product that you could swap for something a little bit more expensive, like the Alpha H Liquid Gold. That product is a really, really popular product, but the price tag means it's just not in everyone's budget. So if that one is a little bit out of reach for you, then Commleaf's AHA Green Tea Peeling Liquid is definitely a great savvy version. So go and check that out if you have been wanting to try the Alpha H one, but it might just be a little bit too expensive for you at the moment. So the second category of acids, and also next in the alphabet, are our BHAs. So these are beta hydroxy acids, or beta. I think I've heard it pronounced multiple different ways. I'm going to call them beta. You can call them beta, beta. So they are a gentler alternative to AHAs. The most common one that I see is salicylic acid, and that has many of the same benefits as AHAs. So the fat solubility of BHAs makes them really great for dissolving oil, and that makes them effective on blocked pores, blackheads, whiteheads, and acne. So oils being good for dissolving oils, BHAs are a really, really great option for oilier skin types. They also have anti-inflammatory properties, and they can assist to soothe redness. There are so many BHA products on the Korean beauty market. So at all different kind of strengths as well. Like some are designed to just be used maybe once or twice a week. Others are gentle enough to be used every single day. So you really have just a veritable buffet of options when it comes to BHAs and K-beauty. Some of the ones that are trending at the moment are Benton's Allo BHA Skin Toner. This is a really nice gentle one that can be used every day. CosRx has their natural BHA skin returning acyl. Their Power Liquid is a BHA, and also they have ISN Tree also has a really great clear skin BHA toner, and that's just to name a few. So keep an eye out for BHAs if you do tend on the oilier side, and particularly if you are suffering from blackheads, sebaceous filaments, and things like that you would like to clear out to give your skin that smoother look to it. BHAs are a really, really great option for that. The last but not least on my hit list today are PHAs. So these are kind of the new kid on the block. So PHA stands for polyhydroxy acid, and they do work similarly to AHAs in that they also melt away dead skin cells. But what makes them a little bit different is that their molecules are larger. So this means that they take longer to work, but that makes them perfect for light exfoliation or for use on very sensitive skin. So these are the kind of acids that I would recommend to people who are really sensitive or have easily irritated skin. And they're also a really great option for mature skin types because they help to preserve collagen levels in the skin, which is obviously an issue for skin as it ages. We naturally lose collagen. So PHAs, if you want to try a PHA in a formulation, Some by Me obviously has its cult favorite AHA, BHA, PHA line, but I am seeing more and more PHAs come onto the K-beauty market. So definitely keep an eye out for them if you are maybe new to acids or you do have a more sensitive skin type. That's a really great compromise, I guess, between the other two that can be the other two BHAs and AHAs, which can sometimes just be that little too sensitizing. A few practical tips when you are looking to work with acids in your routine. The first tip I would have is to make sure that you stay sun safe. So I think it probably should go without saying that everyone is already using a high SPF product in their skincare routine. I really hope that's the case, guys. If you're not already using sunscreen every day, then definitely use this as a reminder to start. There is no better anti-aging cream out there than your sunscreen. So even if you're wearing makeup with an SPF in it, I would say don't rely on that alone. Try and use a special purpose high SPF sunscreen in your skincare routine every single day. There is no better product that you can buy. So if you want to introduce acids, this becomes especially important because they do make your skin more sensitive. So if you're going to be playing with AHAs, BHAs, or PHAs, it's really important to be religious about applying your sunscreen and then also reapplying it as well. So I am going to go through sunscreens in a later episode of the show, but there are obviously lots of tips and tricks for sunscreen reapplication. We have plenty on the Style Story blog. If you're looking for some creative ways to reapply when you're already wearing makeup, go and check out. I will link it in today's show notes because there are definitely some really quick and easy ways to reapply your sunscreen. The second tip I have when you're experimenting with your acids is to make sure that you don't overdo it. And this, as I think I alluded to a bit earlier, can be easier said than done. So the key thing to know is that combining acids can cause irritation, particularly if you're prone to dryness, sensitivity, or redness. So if your skin falls into one of those categories, then my hot tip would be just to stick to one. You don't need to be using all three in your skincare routine, definitely not. And it's not a case of more is more. More can definitely just lead to irritation. So if you have a problem like that, I would say pick one and stick to it and see how your skin goes and monitor. If you start experiencing any symptoms of redness or irritation, then definitely cut your usage out. Just strip everything back to basics. let your skin's barrier take a break before you start reintroducing any acids. So if you have oily skin, then you might be able to get away with combining BHAs and AHAs in the same routine and stay safe. And in fact, for oily skin types, that can sometimes even be beneficial. But definitely start out slowly. I like to suggest to people after they've done their patch testing, if you have dry, sensitive or red skin, try just once a week. If you have oily skin, you can start out twice a week and then work your way up. Some people will safely be able to use them every single day, and some people will never be able to use them that often, but everyone's skin is different. So just have a play around and work out what works best for your skin. Now, if you are layering your acids, which I know some people do like to do, then start with your BHA first. So you start with your oil-soluble BHA first and then move on to your AHA. It's kind of like double cleansing, and that's because BHAs are typically formulated to be a pH of 3.5, and then AHAs are formulated at a pH usually of under 4. So you want to use your BHA product first, not only because it is lower in pH, but also because they're oil-soluble, whereas AHAs are not. So that was a little primer on skincare acids. If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to subscribe to the podcast so that you'll never miss another episode again. And I will chat to you next Tuesday.